Episode of the NJ Show. I hope everybody's doing good. Let me know that you're alive in the chat. Let me know that we're live. Let me just double check to see that we're live. And if we're live, we'll get the show going. We are live. We're live. We're live. All right. Awesome. So welcome back to another episode of the NJ Show. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope you guys have been enjoying the bear market rally that we've been having. There's a lot to discuss. Today's stream is probably going to be a little longer just because there's just so much to go over. Is the bull market back? That's the first question. I know everybody's trying to figure out if the bull market is back or not. We're going to talk about that. Do alts have more room to run? We're going to talk about that. Where do I think Bitcoin is headed? We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Bitcoin dominance. We're going to talk about two altcoins, starting with the first altcoin straight away because they've sponsored the show. I did invest into this private sale a couple of days ago. I didn't want to bring it up just because I didn't want anybody to FOMO. But now that we've had some settle off period, now that things are looking all right, and there's a pretty decent trade to take, I've decided it's a good time to talk to you guys about that today. And that is stables. All right. The first altcoin that we're going to be talking about on this channel, on this show, is stables. Now, let me bring up my handy screen over here just to run it through with you guys. So this is the website for stables. We'll go into it. It's a simple protocol. It's a lightweight approach to real yield and ever-evolving protocol. So what you're doing is you're essentially putting in your tokens or putting in your money and you're building up a yield. All right. It's very, very DeFi, true to DeFi. All right. Very true to DeFi. Now, if you go through the website, you'll see different parts of what makes this protocol, what makes it good. I like how fluid the website is. Now, tokenomics, I wanted to bring it up straight away. All right. The thing with tokenomics is I've seen the approach that they've taken. There are pros to it. There are disadvantages to it. The pros to it is they want the private sellers to be out as fast as possible. All right. They do not want anyone who doesn't believe in the project to stick around. All right. So what they've done is they've made a 30-day linear vesting sort of release, should we say. All right. Now, as part of this release, obviously, you know that tokens will be coming into the market every day. So do be careful. You have to trade this token. You can't buy and just hold. You have to trade it. Now, again, on the website, you'll see how these tokens are split up, how it's separated out. You'll see that the private sale itself isn't as big as the overall money that we've got into the system. So that's one. And then we get a little bit about how the system works, okay? And you can click on each of these links at the bottom here to give you an idea of what you want to look for. Also, of course, don't forget to go to CoinGecko or CoinMarketCap, and the best place to start is there. So what I do is, hold on a second. Let me, so CoinGecko. Let me bring this up for you guys here. So I go to CoinGecko, nice and easy. We go to stables. There it is. It's the first one there. We know that they're listed. They should be listed. You shouldn't really be investing into things that aren't listed or verified by CoinMarketCap or CoinGecko. And here we go. It gives you as much information as you need. Let me zoom in for you guys just a little bit here. You won't have a market cap here right now. It's still fresh. And it's an interesting thing that I'm mentioning right here with the market cap. You guys should be looking at the market cap and it's not there. The next token that we're going to talk about straight after this, not straight after this, but later on in the episode, we're going to talk about this market cap situation because for that token as well, we don't have a market cap. All right. But what you do is once you get here, make sure on the right hand side, you see the contract address. Make sure you verified the contract address. So what I do is I like to take this contract address, take it over to Dex Tools and punch it in there. You've got the website right here as well. You've got the white paper. You've got the Etherscan, the Twitter, the Telegram. There's enough information here to really get you started. This has been built on ETH as well, so this will be part of the ETH ecosystem. It's not another ecosystem, just in case you guys are wondering. I've met the team. Team are really lovely people. They are working super hard. And like I said, at the very beginning, I saw the concept of a private sale and I thought, well, hang on a second. Does the market really have the legs to support this? So I thought to myself, all right, we've got a decent team. They're working hard. We've got a decent sort of website. We've got good marketing. We've got the right people on board. Can this thing have the legs? So I let it launch. I didn't tweet about it. I didn't talk to anyone about it. I let it launch because at the end of the day, you're not going to get the launch price, are you? Right? They launched at 15 cents. Let's be real. No one's going to grab that unless you've got some sort of bot or unless you've got some sort of something that allows you to cheat, you're not really going to get the listing spike. All right. That said, we finally built a range. So, like I said, you take this contract address over here, move it over to Dex Tools over here, punch it into the search engine right here, and that should come up. Should be the first one here. Verify it. Make sure you verified it by looking at the liquidity. Make sure the liquidity is not something silly like 10k or something like that. Make sure the volume looks good. If the volume is underneath 100k, then you're being a degen as you would, but it's not something safe. All right. Um, Obviously, for us, we've got 1.7 million here, which bodes us well. We've also had $12 million, I think, on the first day, which was pretty decent. That's what I wanted to see. You know, when you're talking about pre-sales, it's a very sensitive subject. All right, sensitive because if the market doesn't have the legs to support it, then you're essentially calling something that you got the lowest price for that the rest of the market participants won't really be able to make money off. That's why I gave it a couple of days. Now, liquidity is locked. If we just click here, it tells you that the liquidity is locked for 36 months. So that is about a year and a half. No, that's not a year and a half, you idiot. That's 3 years. 3 years. So typically what you'll do is when you see meme coins or when you see coins that launch on the market that don't really have a good perspective on what they're trying to achieve, they'll lock their liquidity for a month or 2 weeks. This is something very important that you guys need to look at, especially if you're new to crypto and you're new into this game. All right. So they've locked it for 3 years. That means whatever liquidity we've got in here, as it grows, it's not going to be touchable for the next 3 years, which means nobody has to worry about a potential rug. Okay. And that's one of the key components of what I use as well when I'm shilling a product or a project on this channel. I know that going into the next bull market, there's going to be lots of projects which you guys want me to cover. But if they don't meet that minimum criteria, I might buy some for the sake of the crypto casino that we've got. But I'm probably not going to be talking about it on the channel or really tweeting about it much because you have to be responsible at this level. All right. Now, again, going down just a little bit here, I want to show you guys the trade that I'm looking at. Again, I wanted to say I didn't want to bring this up at the beginning. At the very beginning, look at these spikes that we've got here. If I had spoken about this from the beginning, like some other people I know who did, if you say it wrong or if you say it irresponsibly, what's going to happen is people are going to buy this part of this candle right here, right at the top, and it's going to cause problems for reputation. The project might actually be a good project with good legs, but it's going to cause some sort of sensitive, it'll brush people the wrong way. All right. So I thought to myself, all right, if it establishes a range, I'm going to give this a shot. I'm going to give this a chance. And it did. All right. You've got your range highs right here. You've got your range lows right there. Okay. We've come to the bottom of the range lows. At the very beginning, I thought to myself, well, how do we know it's a range? We don't know. It's got to close back in the range, see if it gets to the top of the range, and then come back down. And it did. All right. Closed at the bottom right here. It could have potentially sold off to zero. Who knows? Who knows? Right. But it didn't. Closed back above, played to the range high, range low, and now we're accumulating at the range low. Okay, so we've got a clear invalidation here. Invalidation comes in at around 27 cents, call it 25 cents, let's say. All right, just for the sake of argument, conservative. All right, and target would be looking towards roughly around 45 cents. All right, I do want these highs to get taken out right here at 48 cents, but I'm saying 45 for the time being. You can do the maths. That's a decent trade. All right, there are no sometimes when you're doing the trades, if you go to Uniswap, sometimes you've got to set your percentage to maybe 10% or 15%. We don't have that here. You can set it to the lowest 0.5 to 1, maybe 1.5. Look, there's a trade opportunity right there. Okay. So that's stables. We are going to be talking about one more altcoin today, which I just bought. I know that's a little bit cheeky, buying it right before I jumped into the stream, but I'll tell you what, I bought in high. I did buy in high, and from my perspective, I did. And I'll share it with you guys, all right? And I will leave disclaimers, all right? I love you guys. I really, really love you guys. And yes, some of you might think, well, why is he shilling an altcoin like this? But look, the market is giving us that right now, okay? The market is telling us that, yes, Bitcoin may be topping out, Ethereum may be topping out. However, there's still room for some altcoins to run. Now we move over to the next part, all right? Quick shout out to Stables. Thank you very much, Stables. You've been good to us. You've got good metrics right here. I like the fact that you've locked your liquidity for 3 years. That's a big plus for me. I like the fact that your website is fluid. That's a big plus for me. Everybody should be able to answer questions using this website. All right. You should be able to go to this website and really break this down and start doing some detective work as to what you want to see and what you don't want to see, what has been successful and what hasn't been. So take a look into that. All right. You can see the partners as well if you click on this link here. The contracts itself were verified by Assure, Hacken, and SF. All right. Now, Hacken might actually be appearing on my next episode because there is some more AI stuff going on with Hacken and Elon Musk. But I'm doing some more research onto that first to make sure that I have the right information for you guys before I come live and talk about it. So, a big shout out to Stables. The trade there, the trade is valid. We'll come back to it tomorrow or the day after. If you guys really want to, someone bring it up to me and we'll see how it unfolds. I like this trade, all right? It's a simple rage trade. Now, the problem that we have is we might get one big FU candle right into $1. That happens, and I'm sorry, I can only give you the trade that it's there. You know that I invested in private anyway. I'm not really selling any more tokens from this point on. So I'm just going to wait and see what happens with that. Okay. Now, moving on, the next question that we've got is what is the situation with Bitcoin? That is the question that a lot of people are focusing on. Where is Bitcoin going? Is the bull market back? And how should we be looking at Bitcoin? Now, for me, if we just zoom out very quickly, because you guys know, you guys are used to this channel now. I'm a big fan of market cycles. Market cycles is really where I thrive. It allows me to remain calm in the market. When I was in 2017, I used to be a degen. I used to focus on the next altcoin that would pop. I wouldn't really think, well, what happens if the Fed say this, or what happens if inflation does this, or what happens if there is some sort of cataclysm that has a domino effect that goes into the wider markets, affecting later on maybe precious metals and cryptocurrencies. Now I think a lot different. There are times when you have to accelerate and there are times when you have to be defensive. And I've taken that from Trader XO. Okay. There are times to be aggressive, my friends, and there are times to go long like there is no tomorrow. But the conditions have to be there first. And I'm not convinced yet that we have those conditions right now. All right. I don't think that the bull market is back. If we take a quick look, if we look here, once we made this high in November 2021, we had a relentless sell-off. Yes, we did have a spike here. We had a good bounce, but that bounce is not anywhere near significant as the one that we're having right now. This is the first bounce that we've had that is truly significant. Why is it significant? Because it rippled across crypto. All right. It wasn't just Bitcoin gave us a move from 16K all the way to 24K. That's a very big move. But the reason it was significant was because it rippled across all the altcoins. Everybody's talking about altcoins. And notice as well how these altcoins, they're moving in a narrative base. They're not moving. It's not just every single altcoin is going up. They're moving in narratives. All right. The AI narrative being the most predominant one. And we will go into AI today. We will discuss that a bit today. All right. Bear with me. Bear with me. For those of you who are just tuning in now, thank you very much for tuning in. Make sure you smash a like on the video, share the video. And if you do watch this recorded, if you are watching this recorded right now, smash a comment for me. Let the algorithms do its thing. All right. We want the NJ show to grow. We need your help to do it. Without you guys, we are nothing. All right. And girls and everything in between. All right. No discrimination here. So again, going over to Bitcoin now, we can see that we've had this big monster monthly candle and it's looking good. Everybody thinks that the bull market is back. Now, if we start bringing ranges into it, we start seeing the picture sort of become a little bit clearer. We've got a range below the orange level here. This is my range that I like to work with. I always like to I look at this every week, you know. I look at this range every single week just because I keep myself clear. Okay, I want to keep myself clear. I do not want to get caught in the 15-minute time frame thinking that a macro bull market is coming back. And I don't want, you know, certain people, they tweet in certain ways that make you think that either number one, they're geniuses, or number two, that the market is back and they can really smash the life out of the market. But what happens is when you're not responsible with the power that you've got, the voice that you've got, you end up confusing people and you end up turning your people, your own community, into exit liquidity. and that's what we have to try and avoid. The concept of the NJ show, the concept of my branding, my personality is, yes, I'm going to be buying before you're buying because I'm the one calling it. That's natural. I'm not going to call it and then wait for everybody to buy it so I can buy it. That doesn't make sense. I'm the gem caller, right? At the same time, you have to make sure that you're aware that, number one, this market can shank lower right now. Okay. And we're going to break it down in just a moment. Number two, if the market is to shank down, where do you get out? What is your invalidation? Where do you say, all right, you know what? NJ showed me this trade here for this token right here. Now, this token is a new token. It's not a token that I think has a reputation in the crypto space just yet. They're building one right now. We've got a clear invalidation here at 25 cents. So I'll tell you what, if we get a close on the hourly below 25 cents, I'm going to call it quits. All right. If we get back into the range, I'll take the small loss that I took and I'll give it another shot, but I'm going to take my time. Now, I know a lot of you, I can see comments coming in already saying, why didn't you call for the AI coins? Because I'll tell you why. I'll tell you the truth as well, because I didn't think that this market was going to give us this much. I really didn't believe it. And a lot of these coins that were running as well, some were on Binance. You got Fetch AI that was on Binance, but then the rest were on Uniswap. Now you tell me, how do I come on YouTube and tell you guys, yeah, I start with this is not financial advice, and then I share you something on Uniswap. There has to be some back work first. There has to be some legwork done in the background. Now, I've not been convinced. I understand that that's frustrating for a lot of people. And I know that it's drama for some people too. Like, yeah, NJ, bro, you missed it, fam. Well, number one, I didn't miss it. All right. I did take some degen plays, but I have to use this platform responsibly. All right. This is going to sound retarded, but I care about you guys. All right. I don't want you guys to buy something, it dumps to zero, and suddenly I'm just another influencer. It doesn't work like that. We're not going to grow like that. All right. Objective, the plan is for us to follow this market as it is. Once the low's in, once I feel that the macro bottom has been printed, we start aggressively pushing. All right. It's not the time to be aggressive. Now is the time to fiddle around with a couple of $100. Throw a couple hundred in here, a couple hundred in there. You get 2-3x. GG, well done. You can't be throwing in 10K, 20K, 30K. You can't be playing with those kind of numbers in this kind of market. And I'll explain why now. All right. So look, looking at Bitcoin from this angle, it looks like we've got a big candle. Could this be a reversal candle? Let's talk about it. If we look at the weekly now, what are we seeing here? We're seeing that we've taken out these highs here. We've taken out this high right here, and we haven't quite taken out this high right here. So naturally, if you're going to be looking at a magnet, right, you're going to be looking at 25K, 25.2K right here as a magnet for resistance. Now, the question is, does price actually have to go there? The answer is no, not really. Not really. All right. Now, I shared this on Twitter a couple of days ago, and I said, all right, look, this is the little range here that I feel Bitcoin is playing in. All right here. And notice how price continuously kept ranging in this little area here. We deviated above, but we got back in. The range lows are holding, and now we're deviating back in as well. Now, for me, these deviations are so big outside of the range that if we start pushing lower, I think we're going to push out of this range here, and we're going to come back into this support right here. Okay, so this is what I tweeted a couple of days ago. For me, I still think that this is possible. I still think this is what we're going to see. This is what I'm trading towards. However, you've got to ask yourself, if Bitcoin is going to go that low, but that doesn't make sense because I've just been talking about altcoins. I'm telling you that I'm going to be talking about another altcoin. Why would I think that if Bitcoin going down to these levels here, we're talking 21.5K or 21K even as a extended pullback, why would I think that altcoins would be going up? Well, for some of you who know and some of you who don't know, you've got two pairs. You've got BTCD, which shows Bitcoin dominance, and you've got ETH BTC, which shows ETH's correlation to Bitcoin and its strength against Bitcoin. All right. Now, Bitcoin dominance, what it does is, I know a lot of you know this, and I know it'll be patronizing for some of you, but Bitcoin dominance is essentially the entire crypto market in one, and then you've got Bitcoin against everything else in the market. All right. So right now, Bitcoin dominance is at 43.1%. That means that in the entire crypto space, the market cap of that entire space, 43% is utilized through just Bitcoin, and the other 57% is, it took me a second to think of that, and the other 57% is utilized by altcoins and everything else. All right. ETH, etc., etc. Top 10, etc., etc. All right. Now, I shared this on Twitter as well a couple of days ago, and it's well, not a couple of, I would say a week ago now, and it's unfolding exactly what I wanted to see. All right. Now, we did deviate this mid range, just like I said. We did retest it right here, just like I said, and now we're pushing lower. What does that mean? If Bitcoin dominance is going lower, if this is a bearish chart for the time being, that means the rest of the crypto space is going to start dominating against Bitcoin. All right. So, yes, Bitcoin might dump. Yes, Bitcoin might range. Yes, Bitcoin might behave. But what we want to focus on for our altcoin plays is this. Now, we're in the middle of nowhere right now. Where's support? Where is support? Support is right here at the 42% level. So there are a few ways to look at it. I still think that this is the plan that's going to unfold, in my honest opinion. I think that we'll find support here. Maybe we'll break it and we'll start looking like we're going lower when in reality we're probably going to bounce. And this area here is going to be your magnificent pullback area right here. Okay. This area here is where you're going to capitalize, because if you think about it, altcoins have been going up in a straight shot for 6 weeks. Just give yourself a second, just pull back and just give yourself a second and just say, all right, well, you know what? We've been dumping for like 1 year. Jerome Powell has said inflation is not really looking that good. We just got a rate hike last week. Altcoins have been going up for 6 weeks. What's going on? Are we trend reversing right now? Are we getting ready for a big bull market right now? Or are we setting up for a really big shorting opportunity? Just think about it for a second. You see, let's use this chart as an example, right? Let's use this chart as an example. Over here, let me direct your attention to this high right here. Okay, I'm going to circle it for you. Look at this high right here. Now, with the small amount of us that we have here, two of us say, you know what, NJ, I think the high is in right now for this chart. And the rest of us say, oh, bro, it's never coming back down again. Yeah, this is the breakout play. We're going to break range high. We're going to push up. Everybody who's watched SC suddenly knows how to trade ranges, right? He's given us that. That's a gift from him to us. And he's done it for us for free. All right. Look how quick price dumps to the bottom. Oh, yeah, you know what I'll do, bro? This is what I'll do. I know I missed the top, but I'll just wait for this level to break here. And once this level breaks here, then I'll just wait for the underside retest and sell off. And I'll sell this area right here. Hold on, let me point it for you. I'll sell this area right here, and then I'll have my invalidation right here. And boom, that's a perfect trade. And I respect you for that. That is how you trade. That is a responsible way of looking at trading. And that's a very sensible way of doing it too. However, unfortunately, the market didn't give us that. The market sold off. We've even got a little gap here. The market just sold off in one go. Now, think about it for a second. If we've had a year or something of sell-off like this, don't you think that if the dimensions and the dynamics of the entire market haven't changed, don't you think that this is the setup that you were looking for? Rewind. Everybody thought, the 2 people out of the 100 people thought this was the top. They shorted and they won. Okay, you've got no real invalidation there, but GG, you shorted it 100x, you made your P, and you call the top. Give the clout to this guy over here. The conservative traders say, oh, do you know what? I want to short this area right here. This is where I want to short. If I get that, then I'm shorting it. And I've got my clear invalidation. If it stops me out, it stops me out. If it doesn't stop me out, GG, I just got that clout. All right. Don't you think that if we push all the way down here, we accumulate a little bit, push up, does this mean that Bitcoin is going back up now forever? Or does this mean that this is this area here? This is the short that you were looking for many months ago, but you were just not patient enough to wait for it, and you got tricked. Your bias got confused. You got tricked from this move here. What do you think? This is a community. This is our show. This is not just my show. This is our show. What do you guys think? Hmm. That's where I'm coming from. All right. Now, for me, if Jerome Powell came out yesterday and he said, "Oh, you know what? We've had a change of heart. We have seen inflation go to lower prices. We've seen inflation go to a lower percentage. Oh, you know what? We've decided that we're not even going to pause. We're just going to start easing. We're just going to start doing some easing. We're going to start giving us minus 25 BPS rate decreases every month from now on." Now I would start changing my thoughts. I'd start saying, well, hang on a second. They've been pulling liquidity out of this market for a year now. They've been increasing the rates. It's impossible to get finance. Come on, we're normal people in the chat. How hard is it to buy a car on finance? How hard is it to get a mortgage right now? How hard is it to pay for the bills that you've got in your yard right now? Energy prices are still high. But just because we've had a little push up in crypto, everybody's thinking that the bull market is back. And some of these traders on Twitter have no shame. They have no shame. They know that they've got the luxury of being hidden behind a screen. They know that they've got the luxury of deleting their tweets. They know that they're not just going to lose their followers overnight. So they're happy to say, "Oh, we're back in a bull market. We're going to long this, we're going to long this, we're going to long that." We've got to get to a stage where you can think for yourself. All right. And that's why you need to be tuning in. You shouldn't be tuning in to see me draw lines. You shouldn't be tuning in to see me draw patterns and tell you, yeah, underside retest and this. You should be tuning in because you want to think for yourself. Don't just buy something because I said buy it, you idiot. Buy it because I've given you the tools to buy it. If you're gonna fish, if you want to fish for real, fish and catch the fish you want to catch. If you don't get the fish that you don't want, throw it back in the ocean. Don't just eat it out of greed. You know. Anyway, yeah. So going back, I'm waffling now. I'm waffling. Bitcoin dominance is following my plan. Okay, I wanted it to come higher. I wanted it to come up here, but we didn't quite get that. Now we still can get that. We still can get that, and I still think we will. All right. Maybe instead of getting this right here, maybe we bounce from this area here, push up through the mid range, do the thing here, push up here, and then push up here, take out these highs, fill in this gap. All right, maybe. But as it currently stands, it feels like it wants to come to the lows first. All right. So we'll see what happens when we get to this area here. But until then, I don't feel uncomfortable telling you guys, yeah, I might be looking at some altcoins. You know, another scenario that we can look at here is whoopsie, what have I done there? Another scenario that we can look at here is, what if from right at this area here, what if it just pushes up and gives us a retest back into the mid-range? That's okay as well, because I think the altcoins that will get hit from that are going to be the bigger market cap altcoins, the ones that sit on Binance, the one that sit on Coinbase and stuff like that. Those are the ones that are going to have pullbacks with money being sucked out of them. But the coins that we're looking at here, the lower caps, the ones that are chilling on Uniswap, for the time being, I think the ones that have lower liquidity, I don't think they'll be affected as much. All right. So like I said, you've got to be smart with how you're playing. You can't just take this token as an example and throw 50K at it. But you can take a couple $100 and play the game. That's one trade, park it aside, put it in your notes and say, look, I've got this trade running. I can't smash it up. I need to focus on it. At the same time, if you want to take bigger trades, wait for your levels to be hit. So let's say, for example, right now, you're not in any altcoins, right? And you say to yourself, well, hang on, NJ, do you know what? I just don't feel comfortable right now. I just don't feel comfortable touching the market. I feel like we are in no man's land right now. With this as an example, I want to wait for a higher retest, or maybe I want to wait for lower down and I'll wait for the pullback once we get a bounce. You could do that too. All right. Don't force a trade. All right. Don't force a trade. So that's Bitcoin. I do think Bitcoin is going to go lower. At the same time, I do think Bitcoin dominance is giving us a healthy pullback. That pullback means more upside for altcoins. We're approaching the weekend as well now. So it'd be interesting to see how it all unfolds. I do think a major pullback is coming across the board, though. So be very, very, very careful. Now, so you guys already know now, you've got the plans for those especially watching it recorded. Bitcoin lower, Bitcoin dominance lower. So Bitcoin lower, but altcoins up. All right. It's one of those environments that we're in. That's what I'm thinking happens. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back tomorrow. All right. If I'm wrong, I'll come back tomorrow and we'll hash out new plans. All right. The next thing is we're going to talk about why I'm so uncertain with this market. A lot of people may ask me, and a lot of people are getting annoyed saying that I'm bearish. Well, number one, I'm not bearish. I'm very bullish. I live for this space. I'm so excited for what's to come. It's just not the time to be aggressive. All right. Now, yesterday, Powell spoke, and you'll notice that I didn't come live. All right. I didn't do it because I didn't think it would be an event. I think we've got CPI coming in the next 7 days or 6 days. And I think that could potentially top the market out short term. All right. Now, when Powell spoke yesterday, he mentioned that inflation isn't where we need it to be. But we'll break that down now. And I want you guys to try and reason with me. Just hear me out. All right. Why I think that we're not in a bull market, why I think that this is truly a good bear market rally, why I think that we've seen this bear market rally happen before, and why I think that we're going to get a wave of depression enter the market because of what's currently going on. Now, look, Powell's speech triggered record option bets, topping even the meme stock frenzy. What does that mean? That means that whatever Powell said yesterday made the market go wild. It made the market go bonkers. All right. And it did. And it was awesome. It was good. All right. Now, a speculative frenzy after Fed Chairman Jerome Powell spoke last week helped drive record trading call options Thursday. And there could be more Powell related options actions Tuesday as investors await his midday speech. But the record volume in call options on stocks last week may also be the sign of a medium term peak in speculative behavior. Now, think about it. Break that down, read between the lines. What are we seeing here? Now, look, when these rate hikes were happening at the beginning of the last year, they were coming in hot. They were coming at minus 75, minus 75, minus 50, minus 50. We just recently got a rate hike that was minus 25. Now, just think of a rate hike as somebody stealing something from you. You've got £100 in your wallet. Okay, this month I'm going to take 75 from you. You've got a month now to put another 75 back in, or at least another 50 in, because I'm going to take another 75 from you next month. All right. The next month after that, I'm going to take 50. I'll allow you this week or this month. I'll let you go. I'll take 50. So I'll leave you with half. All right. Now we've gotten to a stage where I'm only taking 25. All right. Now this is just an example to help you understand it. But now I'm taking 25 from you. Bro, you still got robbed. It's not bullish. You still got jacked. Like you had £100 that was yours. You can't buy anything now. You got jacked. You can't buy anything over £100 or equivalent to £100 because you got robbed still. You got another £25 that was taken this month. So that's number one. All right. Before we can start talking about bullish, we need to see them reverse this. Before they reverse this, they need to pause it. Pausing would be a bullish momentum. I could see a bear market rally coming from a pause, or I could see volatility just completely exiting the market from a pause. I can see a pause giving us a reaction, but we're not there yet. We're still at a stage where liquidity is still leaving the bigger markets. They've left the bigger markets, right? And we're still getting rate hikes. So what does that mean? That means that to get a move like this on Bitcoin, to get a move like this on, let me just move this here for now. To get this move here on Bitcoin from the bottom here all the way up, you're going to need a lot less liquidity. You're going to need a lot less buying pressure to push this market up than you would have a year ago. So what we've got now, it's harder to do this than it was to do this. Okay? And I'm hoping that I'm making sense here. I can see viewers dropping off. If you are watching this recorded, please bear with me. I know that this is a lot to digest. I know everybody wants to talk about, which one's the next AI altcoin? But I've got to stick true to my word. I've just got to, all right? I've got to. I don't want to be fake like some of the people in my family who have snaked me, who are actively in the Twitter space right now, acting like there's something that they're not. I've got to stay true to my word. And I can't change. I can't do that. If I do that, then I'm not even going to be accurate. I'm not going to be consistent, because I'm not going to be me. So to get to move that we've got here, it requires a lot less liquidity. All right. The buying pressure, someone with $1 billion here could push this push this price here from range low to mid range. Someone with $500 million could push price from here to here. It's a bigger move and a smaller amount of money to do it. But that's a bearish thing as well, because, and I'll explain why now. It's bearish because that means it would only take 500,000 to send it back to where it was lower. And you've got to ask yourself as well. A lot of people are asking me, well, NJ, hang on a second. We've got a double bottom here. We've double bottomed off your range high. Could this be the deviation for a bigger bull run? Look, if we want to revisit 28K, we can revisit 28K. If we want to revisit 30K, we can revisit 30K. But what I'm saying is that everything that we've got coming up here, the people, the market participants who waited 1 year to buy this area here, they're the ones that are going to be aggressively taking profits up here, up here, up here. Don't think that the market is just going to be going up like crazy. It's not going to do that. You know what I mean? It's only when the global conditions are giving us a risk on signal that metals and cryptocurrency start going. And that's when we can take Bitcoin and look at Bitcoin just as a unit by itself and not as part of a bigger picture. Right now in the bear market, people are charting Uniswap tokens consistently. I'm just seeing Uniswap all over my feed. I wasn't seeing that 6 weeks ago. I'm seeing it now. Everybody's focused on Uniswap. And we're going to have another episode where we talk about profit taking later on, where you'll realize that nobody's actually going to take profit in this bear market rally anyway. This liquidity buildup is us. That's the joke. It doesn't take $1 billion to push this anymore. It takes 500 million. So screw it. Let me put 500 million in. Let these lot have fun. And then when I'm ready to short, I'm going to short at any of these levels above here. They're not going to know. And it's going to come crashing down so hard and so quick that even if you have a stop loss set, because you didn't take profit, you're the fool. And some of these influencers that are charting these Uniswap tokens and tweeting it saying, here you go, bro. Here's your 5x, your 10x, your 30x. They know that you're not going to take profit. Notice that they're not telling you take profit. They're just telling you, yeah, here's your next plan. Here's the next breakout plan. When you don't take profit, they get away with it and you've lost your money. So just, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I've been at the bottom end of that before, and you can't just walk around being angry at people. You can't walk around threatening people and saying, I'm gonna, at the end of the day, you're the one who's in charge of your hands. You get me? If I'm the one who takes this mouse right here and I click buttons and I buy something, can't be upset. I can't be upset when it doesn't work out. If I tell you, yeah, buy Bitcoin right now, you're the one who fucking bought it. Why are you getting angry at me? You get me? But if I tell you, look, listen, I'm buying Bitcoin and this is why I'm doing it, you know, X, Y, and Z. Now, Sivo and Wiz are amazing. I'm not talking about them. I know you guys know I'm talking about somebody, but I'm not talking about them. They are phenomenal traders. You missed out Capo. Capo's part of that crew as well. They are phenomenal. All right. They can spot trend reversals in an amazing way. Okay. So you need to be following those guys. Those guys are amazing. Add Capo to that list as well. And there are a few more. But I'm talking about guys who no, I can't. It'll become too bait if I talk. If I start talking, it'll become too bait. I don't want to cause any drama, but there are some people in the space that just have no shame, just absolutely no shame. It's so embarrassing. It's so embarrassing, you know. And I feel embarrassed. I feel ashamed to be on stream right now, being associated with that with them kind of people. You know, it really really winds me up just because my name is there. You know, but what can you do? And no, I'm not talking about SC and XO. SC and XO are just, they're my number ones. You know, SC is my brother. XO is like a big brother to me. I would not be here today on this chat with you guys had it not been for them guys. All right. So my gratefulness is eternal for those two. May Allah give them a million times more than anything they give me. I'll always love them to the max, you know, especially when it comes to, like, both of them have the especiallys in there, you know, like XO, especially XO, because I could give you a list of things, and especially SC, I can give you a list of things. And no, Crypto Chase and Crypto ISO are my boys. I respect Crypto Chase extremely. ISO's my boy, like he's my guy. So it's not, all right. Anyway, we have to move on. We're not going to talk about that. All right. Well, maybe another episode. But anyway, just to give you more of an example as to what Bitcoin is doing. As I said, don't dilute the point. The point I'm making is it didn't take much liquidity to push this up. It didn't take much money to push this up. It's not going to take much to push it down. And we don't know where the high is. And because look how aggressive it is. Look at the build up, right? Look at the build up here. We've got small body candles over days and days and days. Look, this is the daily time frame. And then we get the big pump. When it's time to sell off, we just sell off in like 4 or 5 candles. Look at this sell off right here. 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 There's no chance. Yo, you had a chance to take profit, but you didn't. That's on you, G. So brace yourself for that. Brace yourself for that. And remember that you heard that on this stream. All right. That's the main thing. So that's Jerome Powell talking about that's Jerome Powell creating a meme effect in the crypto space, just like Elon Musk does. All right. And that's what you do when you're reading between the lines. So that's where I stand on this whole thing. Moving forward, and this is another one, and this is probably the most prevalent piece of news I've got here, which is inflation's fight will take a significant period of time. Why would you say that, bro? Jerome, why are you saying that? Read between the lines. What does that mean? That's bearish news. Inflation is a keyword that everybody understands now. All right. It's a keyword that all of you are educated enough to really identify. And I know it's something that you guys will bring up as well. You guys will say, yeah, I'm involved in the crypto space. I watch SC, I watch EXO, I watch NJ. I spend 4 or 5 hours a day watching their streams. I'm on TradingView. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Telegram. I'm plugged into the crypto space. And yes, you are, my friend. Yes, you are. I big up to all of you in the chat for putting the work in, for tuning in during the bear market and studying this stuff, because you guys and girls are the class of 2025. Not me. I'm the old boy now. I'm old. In the next cycle, I'm going to be on YouTube doing these videos and stuff. You guys are going to be the ones that are, getting hot. I had my turn, and now I'm helping other people go for their turn. Some people are just greedy. They want more turns and more turns and more turns. You will identify them yourself as time goes on, because God is great. But anyway, when it comes to inflation hit a certain stage. It hit, let's say 10%. It didn't quite hit 10%, but I'm going to say 10%. All right. Don't quote me on it. Inflation hits 10%. Now, the Fed, think about what it took for inflation to hit 10%. Let me show you what it took. Hold on. You see Bitcoin from this blue box here all the way to this high here? Yeah? Look at this. I'm going to draw it out for you. I know it's small. This area right here at the bottom of the screen, right here. Whoa. What happened there? Oh, what happened? My PC bugged out. And it just drew some madness on the screen. Let me remove that. Anyway, let me try that one more time. Sorry, lads and ladies. So this blue box right here, this low, all the way to this high right here, that's how we got from low inflation to high inflation. Okay. Now, this is not the reason. Bitcoin isn't the reason, but just look at the chart and see from a Bitcoin perspective how we got from inflation was all right, and now inflation is very high. Okay. Now that we're all the way back down here, we don't know if the low is actually in. We don't know how much lower this thing has to go, but we know that if inflation is the key word and we're looking at Bitcoin from the low to the highs and topping out, because Fed can't control inflation, Fed are removing money from the markets, Fed are doing X, Y, and Z. So now that inflation is a key word, we need to see, all right, well, hang on a second. If the high here is where inflation started getting wild, then we need inflation to reverse before we can start talking about lows and alts and aggressive and year. And I'm holding this token for a year. I'm holding this altcoin for the next 2 years. Who has the balls to do that right now? Who has the balls to buy a token right now and say, I'm holding it for the next 3 years? Not a big percentage. Not a big percentage. I tell you that for a fact. Not a big percentage. I am not holding anything for the long term. I'm buying in. I'm trading it. When I see resistance areas, I shot a small portion and I will keep doing it. I just have to keep doing it just because that's the market. I shot one token 3-4 months ago and the team reached out to me and they were like, what are you doing? I was like, I'm selling. And they were like, why? I'm like, because I think this is the top. I've not tweeted about it. I've not spoken to anyone about it. I'm not shilling it. I'm not forcing people to buy it. I'm not creating any exit liquidity. I'm selling it because I think it's the top. They come back to me and they were angry. And guess what? I could bring up the chart now and I could show you that was the top. It was the exact top. We got close to it. We got nearly close to it by about 5 million market cap off, but it sold off from then as well. I'm not going to be upset about that. Look, man, that's what trading is. What do you think trading is? Am I just supposed to hold until the token's worth $10 billion and I still can't sell? Move, fam. Sell your tokens. Sell your tokens if you need to sell your tokens. Take profit. Otherwise, you're gonna hate the rest of the year. You're gonna hate it. I promise you. Pay yourself something. Look, let's say for instance, you made like $1,000, right, over the last 6 weeks. I'm asking you for a favor. If you guys respect me, if you guys appreciate the content that I put out, or if you guys appreciate my work, then do me a favor. Take 20% of that 1K that you made and go buy something either for yourself or someone that you love. Not just a random girl or anything like that, but like your mom or something. Or buy yourself something. Go to a store and see, like, I worked hard for this trade. I put all the effort in, all the research in. It's only 20%. I'm going to take it out and do something nice for myself. It won't feel good right as you're cashing it out, but when you've done it and you see the market tumbling, you think to yourself, oh man, profit taking is, I understand now that profit taking is a whole subject in itself. All right. So the Fed say inflation is taking time to fight. All right. That means that we are not anywhere near where we need to be. All right. That means that you're going to go to a pub with all your friends and all your families, and there's not going to be any alcohol at that pub. Why would you go to a pub where you're expecting to serve alcohol and you go there and there's no alcohol, there's nothing in the tap? No one's going to want to be at that pub. So Bitcoin is going up right now. Everybody's turned up to Bitcoin, the pub, the best pub in the world, and there's no freaking alcohol. The taps don't work. So what's going to happen is people are going to start leaving that pub, or what's going to happen is people are going to get angry at that pub. People are going to not look at this pub as a pub. They're going to say, well, this is just a building. This is not a pub. Yeah, and yeah, I don't drink, but it's the only example I could think of, So the US labor market remains strong, extraordinarily strong, all right? And Friday's monster job report underscored that the central bank has more work to do to bring down inflation. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell said Tuesday. Now, hold on a second. Hold on. If the job market is going up, that means that we're growing. That means that we're spending. So what's going to happen then? Does that mean inflation is going to come in at a higher price? Does that mean we're going to get a higher percentage? Because over the last couple of months, we've covered CPI on this show, all right? And every month, CPI has been coming in higher. Then, over the last couple of months, we've started to see CPI decline. We've started to see CPI coming in lower. We've gone from that stupid 10%. We've come back down to 7.7, 7.8%, something like that. But what happens now if the next CPI print happens and we're back at 8%? Now, we know from a charting perspective, we know that all that means is, all right, let's bring this here. Let's say CPI 10% is here. Okay, 5% is here, and let's say 2%. 2% is here. Okay, now inflation pushes up. Okay, this is the bottom. This is the top of the Bitcoin bull market. Inflation comes down. Inflation comes down. Inflation comes down. It comes to this area here, which comes in 7.7%. It looks like 77, doesn't it? I don't. 7.7%. Now, what it does is it gives us that bearish retest back up to 8-9%, and then it comes back down. Okay, it's still a chart. It's still a chart. When you're viewing metrics like this, when you're viewing data, plot your data out. In maths, when I was young, my teacher, Miss Linton, used to always tell me about graphs and plotting data. I was the worst student ever. Oh my God. I was not good at it. Now I'm 30 and now I'm realizing, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what happens when you take data points and you plot data points and then you add support and resistance to it and you do technical analysis on it. Now the maths start making sense. All right. So Miss Linton, big up. I know you're not watching this. I know you're too old for this. I know you're doing your own thing. You're probably in Jamaica somewhere. Just continue doing your thing in it. But thank you for your maths classes. They have eventually come to a help. All right. So that's what we're seeing with inflation right now. Inflation is not going to be easy. Now we've got to this level here and we're starting to bounce upwards. We're starting to see that even though we're pulling liquidity out, even though money's leaving the markets, even though we're not in a position to grow and everything's too expensive, we're seeing the labor work still being needed. So jobs is going higher. Jobs going higher means that we're technically in a growth situation, which means that we're going to see inflation coming in higher because there's more money being spent in the market, which shouldn't be being spent. More credit will be needed. All right. Think about it from a company perspective. If you're employing more people, um, um, if you're employing more people, then you're going to be needing to spend on their salaries, etc., etc. We know that your product is not going to outweigh like supply and demand. There's not going to be enough demand for your product because there's no growth in the system. Everybody's broke. So who's going to be going to buy your phone or your laptop or your product, whatever your product might be? You know, no one can afford that. But you're hiring people because you need to make more product. Doesn't make sense. And again, and again, if it doesn't make sense, why are we so aggressively longing everything? Why are we so aggressively longing everything? Why is it that after 12 months of bearish candles, 6 weeks of bullish candles makes everyone think that, oh, we've missed everything and everything's pumped and everything's done X, Y, and Z? Just, it doesn't make any sense to me, you know? And if I was more articulate, if I was better at wording how I speak, I could probably explain this point in a much shorter period of time, but I struggle to. But hopefully you guys are learning. Hopefully you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. And I'm happy as well to debate with anybody. I'm more than happy to do that. If anybody says, well, NJ, I think you're wrong because of this, and I think that we're back in a bull market, I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody about that. At the end of the day, it's all opinions and views. Now, if inflation is going to take longer to get to that 2%, that means they're going to keep murking the economy. They're going to keep hurting us. If you can't afford electricity now and inflation is still at 9%, 8%, 9%, they're going to keep hurting us. They're going to make you pay more. They're going to say, well, look, with jobs are up, go get a job, work and pay your tax, work and do this, work and do that, but you've got to pay it. That's the only way we can get the money back. Mortgages are going to have to be more expensive. You're just going to have to work and pay it. You're the one who suffers for it because we're the community, right? We're the people. Do you see what I mean? So inflation is so far away from where they want to take it. So far away. We're not there. And it makes me think now that this year, it's not the year for the bull market. And I'm going to be so surprised if they manage to get it resolved this year. If they do, you're going to see this channel change quite a bit. All right, I'm gonna really start shilling shit. Why I'm a Bitcoin maximalist? Why I think ETH is gonna do a madness? Why this altcoin is gonna go mad? Why that altcoin is gonna go? You're gonna get bored of it. You won't, but I'm just saying. All right, but we're not there. We're in February 2023 after having the biggest bull run that we've ever had in 2021. We had the biggest bear market that we've ever had in 2022 in terms of price decline. And now we're in 2023. There has to be an accumulation period. There has to be a cool off period, and this is where we are. This is where we are. Inflation is far from over. And this year will not be a good year for crypto. Yes, we might see a push up into let me just remove all of that. Yes, we might see a push up into 30K, 35K. It's possible that we do, because from a technical analysis point of view, it's not really that bad. We did have that in 2019. Look at this area here all the way on the left. We did have that in 2019 where we had a big push. We didn't get that far away from all-time high. So look, we can get a push up into the 30K level, 35K level. We can. It's not an issue. But the importance is that we understand what the market is trying to tell us. Look, I've got a lot to study and learn as well. There's a lot that I need to really, really resync myself up with as well. But I can tell you, with the limited information that I've got, I can certainly tell you this is not a bull market. This doesn't feel anything like a bull market feels like. So just You can either take it with a pinch of salt or you can take it with whatever you want to take it with. I do think that we can go higher. Maybe we do something like this, or maybe we do something like this, come back down here like this, and then we push up, take out these highs here. Okay, that would still be very similar to what we had in 2019. It would still be very similar to what we had in 2019. I'm open to it. I'm very open to it. All right. In the interim, I'm just going to play what the market gives me, and that is that the Fed are saying that from a global perspective, we can't be looking at things like that. You've got to think of it like this, yeah. Think of it in order. You've got the Fed at the top. You've got all the big markets. You've got all the equities at the bottom, right? We're not even in the middle of the food chain. We're at the bottom. You've got equities at the bottom, all right? And then you've got precious metals and cryptocurrencies. So we're not really relevant like that. If we're a small part of a very big picture. Yes, Bitcoin can free you. Yes, Bitcoin is decentralized. Yes, decentralization is a big word, and yeah, we can have an hour, 2, 3, 4 hour stream about that where we interact with each other and we discuss that. You know, but we are a small part of a very big picture. All right, and the big picture looks really ugly right now. It looks really, really ugly, messy. All right. And we need that bigger picture. We don't need it to clear up and become established. We don't need it to clear up and become big. All we need it to do is just allow us to breathe so that cryptocurrencies can go. And if crypto can go, we know what the power of Bitcoin is. We know how strong Bitcoin can push. All right. So again, this article here, we're not close to where we need to be for inflation. Moving along, AI has become huge in the crypto space. AI has become huge in the crypto space. All right. And the race starts today. Thank you for sticking around, by the way. I know it's been an hour. We are approaching an hour. I am going to talk about the altcoin that I want. For those of you who need to go, by the way, fuck it. I'll just say it. Excuse me for the language. The altcoin that I bought is Truebit. Okay. This is the altcoin that I bought. Okay. I bought the dip today. Truebit. So look into Truebit. If you don't have time to stick around, look into Truebit. If not, then we're going to carry on with the episode, and I'll show you guys about it later on. All right. So AI has hit the space. All right. Over the last 6-7 weeks, AI has been dominating the crypto space. And now we are seeing big companies, big corporations that don't have any sort of input into crypto for now start to look at AI and how they can utilize it for their own products and their own platforms. All right. So Microsoft now reveals a new open AI powered Bing. All right. Bing is Microsoft's Google. And it's their search engine. They want it to be as big as Google is, or bigger if they possibly can. And that's what they're doing. All right. So it started off with ChatGPT. ChatGPT did what it did, and it really did blow the space out of proportion. It really did. And the technology that they're using as well is quite amazing too. ChatGPT is if you use it correctly, you've got an admin for life. You know, you've literally got an assistant. You know, you can even do crazy things like you can take an article, take the link of the article, give the link of the article to ChatGPT and say, hey, could you summarize this for me? It will read the article for you and summarize it for you in bullet points. It's phenomenal, you know? And now we're seeing Microsoft jump into the race as well. So there's not really much to talk about in terms of AI other than, you know, Microsoft is stepping in. The AI narrative hasn't finished yet. It seems like it's just starting to bubble. I think what the AI narrative is doing here is just making a statement in crypto so that when the next cycle comes, it will be one of the sectors of crypto. All right, going into the next cycle. All right, moving along. Bank of England launches a design phase for a digital pound project. So again, Bank of England looking to go into cryptocurrency, or as they call it, digital currencies. All right. So look, even though we've got bearish news coming out with Jerome Powell talking about inflation not being where it needs to be, even though I am saying that we're not in a bull market, when the time to become aggressive comes, there are going to be plenty of narratives to go by. I think that the next crypto cycle is going to be bigger than the last one. And look, I know people don't get happy when they see a central bank making their own cryptocurrency. I get it. It's against crypto, but don't look at it from that perspective. See it as more money coming into the crypto space. Okay? More money coming into this crypto space means that people who play conservative have the opportunity to make millions. People who don't want to play conservative and they want to buy degen coins, even they have the opportunity to make millions. People who want to focus on NFTs, well, we're going to have even more liquidity for that too. All right? So the more, like, what we're going to see now in the next crypto space, in the next crypto cycle, we're going to see more altcoins in the last cycle. I think that we're going to experience more rugs and whatnot, but it will be harder to make your 1000x, but it will still be possible, and there will be more opportunities to do so, even though it will be harder to filter out which ones will actually do it. All right. Now, we are approaching a period of time in 5, 6, 7 months. I'm not going to be sitting here and saying, yeah, I'm not buying, and I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that. There will come a time when the space becomes so weak where the volatility will be gone. And when that volatility goes, I really believe that will be the best time to start buying. All right. I'm not talking about a bounce. I'm not talking about a bear market rally. I'm talking about in preparation for the cycle that's ahead of us. The next phase that we enter is going to be the final phase of this entire market cycle before we go into the next bull run. All right. That's my opinion anyway. So seeing things like this makes me happy, makes me pleased. All right. Another one, a big shout out to the people of Turkey. I should have started the episode with that, but I didn't. What's going on in Turkey right now is very, very sad. um, I hope you've contacted all your friends and family. If you are Turkish, especially, I hope everybody in your family is all right and safe. From my side, I have contacted a few people that I care about, a few people that I trust. Um, and from my side, anyway, luckily, everybody's all right and nobody's been affected from my side. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the case for you guys or you girls or whatever, but a big shout out to Turkey. So Binance is airdropping 100 USD to all users in the Turkey earthquake region. Hopefully that can help in some way, shape, or form. It's not everything, but it's something. And the best thing that we can do as a community, the best thing that we can do as responsible adults who play in this space is spread awareness. All right. I know that you can't give $1 billion to help this cause, but you might know someone, or your tweet or your Telegram post or your comment on this stream, just anywhere that you can promote it. That comment might be the thing that changes the next person who looks at it, who might be able to actually donate that $1 billion that Turkey needs right now. All right. Now, this is not the first time that this has happened. This is a natural disaster. It's horrible. It's difficult to comment on it. It's difficult to tell you guys how to feel, but what I can say, it's a devastating situation. And for all those who are affected and for all the families who are affected, you have my condolences and you have my love and you have my du'as. All right. Help where we can, help where we can. I'm sure that there's going to be plenty and plenty of donating opportunities that will come up. Maybe if I see a charity myself that I feel is a good one, I'll put it on the stream. I'll get them to come on maybe and talk about what they're trying to do. All right. DM me if you need any help on that kind of stuff. I will be looking to promote wherever I can. Okay. So that's that. Okay. Um, and we've got people in the chat as well saying, please pray for us. So many people still waiting to get rescued. Yeah. Yep. It's like I said, it's a devastating situation. Devastating. It's not something that I can continue to really make an opinion on, or really add to. All right. Inshallah, everybody is rescued. Inshallah, the deaths are low, and inshallah khair, we're able to recover the losses that we incurred during that event. So moving on, we've got Jim Cramer. We've got Jim Cramer here, and Jim Cramer has been tweeting like crazy. So who is Jim Cramer? He is the host of CNBC, and he runs the CNBC Investing Club. Now, he has been controversial in the whole Bitcoin space. He's been tweeting a lot. I feel like he's the new John McAfee, the way that he's going on. He's talking about AI. I think he just tweeted right now, let the arbs blow off out the Activision Blizzard and then buy. So he's talking about gaming stocks right there. Another ridiculous decline in a bull market never stops. So Jim Cramer is somebody who believes that we are in a bull market. Okay. Now, there isn't really much for me to talk about on that. I'm not going to sit here and cause any slander. I'm not going to sit here and say anything bad. But just you've tuned into the NJ show. You've listened to me for an hour now talking about Bitcoin, Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin is selling off, by the way. Look. Yep. Just as we said, chat, just as we said, just as we said. All right. Um, so Jim Cramer has been talking a lot about crypto and whatnot. And where is it? There it is. And he thinks we're in a bull market. So look, if you guys follow Jim Cramer, good for you. I don't follow him. And you guys listen to what he's saying, good for you. He's got 2 million followers. I've got about 50 people in the chat. So he's the one with the audience. I'll let you guys make your decisions. You guys know how I feel. So we'll just move on from here. Now, going over to this altcoin, right? Now, there is an altcoin that I bought. Okay. I bought the dip. It's pretty much at my entry. Hold on a second. It's pretty much at my entry. So if we go to the 15-minute, hold on, that doesn't look right. Let me refresh this. 1 second. Yeah, it's at my entry. Okay. This is exactly where I bought it. Um, I've bought into Truebit. Okay. Now, why have I bought into Truebit? The reason I bought into Truebit is because of a few things. All right. We'll do some investigative work to try and identify why I've bought some, and then I will end the stream there. So here we go. Here we have had quite a bit of a pump now on Truebit. Let me zoom out a bit more to the 3-day chart, and let's scroll down a little bit here. Now for Truebit, this it has the ZK and the AI narrative all in one. All right. The founder of Truebit is the same guy who built Solidity, and he was part of the ETH core team. Okay, in terms of fundamentals, this has the legs. All right, this has the legs. Now, if we go to CoinGecko, and we look at Truebit here. Let's type in True. We go here. We start off with we've got the price here. Again, we've got no market cap here yet. This is something that you guys are going to go have to figure out for yourselves. It is very low considering where it was and where it is now. Look how much we've had a decline. If I was to guess where price could come into, it would be probably here. Okay, if I was to guess where price would be coming into, it would be somewhere along this area here. Okay, that comes in at around 40. Well, it says 39 cents here, but it's around 40 to 45 cents. That's where I think this thing would potentially top out if it continued going. We've obviously got some support right here as well. Okay, now this is a short-term swing trade. Okay, a short-term swing trade. So what we'll do is, you guys know the levels now. You can mark them out on your own charts. Here we go. You can mark them out on your own charts to see how I'm playing this. I don't think the pullback is going to be as steep as it looks here. However, I do think that we may have the potential to push up into these higher prices. Reason being, if we go here, we can see that the AI narrative is going strong, and this has good FA. I haven't really seen people talking about it on Twitter except other than today, really. And we were going to talk about this from a few days ago. So I do think that this is a high risk, high reward play, but I do at the same time think that this is one where if you got caught bag holding, you'd have an opportunity to sell at much higher prices when the market gives us that breathing room. All right. But this is not correct. The fully diluted market cap should be about 48 million dollars, but that's not correct. That's the fully diluted market cap. The current market cap would be a lot lower, in my opinion. And also, they do have, from here, we get the website here, truebit.io. Here's truebit.io. You can get pretty much everything you want from this site. Okay. If you go to truebit.io, it tells you what the project is. It tells you what the project is planning. So Truebit is a blockchain enhancement which enables smart contracts to securely perform complex computations in a standard programming language at reduced gas costs. So essentially what this means is you've got a virtual machine, all right? This virtual machine, the job of this machine is essentially to break down algorithms. Okay, you've got a bunch of algorithms that this machine needs to learn, which you want to execute. All right. And this is going to be doing it based off code. All right. Smart contracts. So what it wants to do is if something does this, then this project, this product will do that. Okay. That's how AI works. All right. It has the ability to do something based off something else using its own algorithms and thought process. All right. The concept is the machine needs to be able to think for itself to the nth degree. All right. Not quite like you have in movies, but to the nth degree. All right. Now, over here, you'll be able to learn about the token model. So we could go through that right now to try and identify the true market cap of this token, but we're not. I'm just looking at the time. I don't think we'll have much time. Over here, you can learn about the operating system that the EVM runs on. You can learn about the coin offering, how it was released, how it was launched, and you can learn about the protocol. So just to reiterate what I said a second ago, while smart contracts can perform small computations correctly, large computation tasks may pose security risks for blockchains. Now, what this means is you've got a computer and you try and launch Opera browser, Chrome browser, you want to launch TradingView, trading software, Telegram, you want to launch Spotify as an example, maybe you've got YouTube running in the background. You're trying to do 50 million things at once. Now, if you've got a brand new computer that has all the state of the art technology, then cool, you're going to be all right. If you've got a computer that your dad bought for you 10 years ago, then probably you're going to be in a similar boat to where I was 2 years ago. All right. Not anymore. I love my machine now. It was a dream to own this machine, and I'm so glad I've got. I only use it for streaming and trading view, which is annoying. But if I found more things to do with this, I'd love it. I just can't get back into games and stuff. I'm just too busy with this stuff, you know. But yeah, Truebit. Going back to it. So any smart contract can issue a computational task to this oracle in the form of WebAssembly bytecode, while anonymous miners receive rewards for correctly solving the task. So it's a community gig, which at the same time has the ability to think for itself to some degree, whereby it can initiate tasks which the system will give it, and it will be able to do them correctly. All right. Now, because obviously we've got the core ETH team that runs this thing, that leads this thing, that built Solidity, is the owner of this thing. It makes me wonder where these guys can go. Now, you got to wonder, if we've been pumping for 6 weeks, why hasn't this token pumped? And I think I know the answer to that. The answer to that is if we go to Twitter, right? These guys haven't really been tweeting much. Okay. Their last tweet was December the 2nd, 2022. Now, I don't know why this has started pushing now. Okay. I don't know why this has started pushing now. However, it's got all the things that I'm looking for. It's got the 24-hour volume is at 2 million now, which is higher than even Stables was. We've got 24,000 holders. All right. And the market cap, according to this, is 45 million. I'm not sure that's the correct market cap. However, if this thing starts going, I think it's going to leave us behind, which is why I've identified the trade. I've identified the target. If we get a close underneath this support level here, coming in at around, I would say 14 cents, 15 cents, I would start to probably look at exiting the position. But I'm going to give it a couple of days. I'm going to see what this market does. I know Bitcoin is going into the range lows. I do think Bitcoin dominance still has lower to go. You've got the website here, which you can use to see. Developers will love this diagram here. You can see how it works, what code it's using. It's using Rust, C++, and C. All right. You've got your GitHub right here as well to see how much they've been committing. You've got the Git lobby here as well. One thing that you want to check when you're looking at these altcoins is you want to have a quick look at the GitHub to see when their last updates were, you know? So you've got the pinned posts here. You've got the repositories. You've got 8 different repositories here. And you want to see, look, as an example here, when was this updated? 4 days ago. All right. Truebit/ETH. Comprehensive repo for creating, issuing, solving, and verifying Truebit tasks on Ethereum. Okay, I know you can't see that. Let me zoom in. So what we've done is we've gone to their GitHub. All right, through their GitHub, we've seen that they've been committing. They're still working. It's not some rug token. All right, and Hard Hat Truebit, Truebit on Hard Hat and Ganache and Ganache. Hard Hat is a version of Linux. All right. It's a software on Linux. I haven't seen that word in a long time. I haven't fiddled around with Linux in just a little bit because I don't do that anymore. I do crypto now. But we see that it was last updated yesterday. All right. So look, maybe they're planning something. Maybe they're going to be tweeting something. Maybe we do have some sort of news coming out. I've bought in. Yeah, it's a bit of FOMO. I do understand, but I bought in at support. It's where it is right now. If I do take some drawdown on it, it is what it is. And if it goes up, it goes up. As for stables, at the beginning of the stream, I told you that range low here was a buying opportunity. We tapped the range low on the stream itself, and it's already up nearly 10%. That's just the nature of these gigs. All right. So like I said, range low to range high, you've got a clear mid range here. I don't think mid range is going to be too prevalent this early on because we don't have much price action. I do think that we're going to just be bouncing around here until it decides what it wants to do. If it wants to break out, if the market is behaving and it wants to break out to higher prices, maybe we could see $1 on this thing, or if it wants to break down and go lower. But we've got a range low and we've got a range high. So look, that's it from me. So what have we covered today? We've covered Bitcoin today. We've covered Bitcoin dominance and why I think Bitcoin can go lower, but altcoins can still potentially go for the next week. All right. We know that we've got CPI coming in next week. All right. Which we will be doing. We've got CPI coming in on the 14th of February. So happy Valentine's Day to anybody that wants to get fucked both ways by the market. We've got we spoke about Jerome Powell and how inflation isn't where we need it to be. All right. It's just not. We've spoken about bear market rallies and how this one can be compared to 2019. We've spoken about Binance airdropping to Turkey, which was important, and we've spoken about Truebit. All right. So the two altcoins for today are Stables and Truebit. I do think that they're both going to perform well. Stables, I know are going to do good. All right, I know that they're going. I know the team. I speak to the team. They're working hard. As long as the market behaves, it's going to do all right. And as for Truebit, Truebit is a guess. All right, this is just NJ being NJ. I do think that this thing has the legs. We'll see if it can actually do it. All right, this is a high risk, high reward play. If you look at the daily, right, look at this ugly candle on the daily. That's not looking good. But because this is a still technically a low cap, I don't know if they're going to get any centralized exchanges coming soon. I know Stables are getting a centralized exchange next week, but keep an eye on Truebit. Okay, I've bought some. I think that if this is going to go, it's going to be anytime between now and the next week. All right. So that's it from me, guys. Thank you very much for tuning into the show. Please make sure to smash a like on the video. We want to try and get to 100 likes. We rarely do these days, but we want to try and get to 100 likes. Do me a favor, tune into the Telegram. All right. The Telegram is free. It's free, and it's the first link in the description below. So tune into that. And follow me on Twitter at TraderNJ1. We just hit 58K followers on that. So that's awesome. Thanks to you guys and girls. And if you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, or if you know anybody who's really interested in cryptocurrencies and they haven't subscribed to this channel, get them to subscribe. All right. We want the community to grow, and I want to see the community grow. So I'll try my best to see you guys as soon as possible. Maybe I'll stream tomorrow, or maybe at the latest I'll stream on Friday. And we'll try and get this up and going. All right. I did say in January that this year we're going to try and stream more. I have been speaking to Murtaza in it for the tech. We spoke today and we did say that we are going to be streaming a lot more. So look, we're going to try and up the streaming content. All right. But in order to do that, I need everybody's help. I need everybody's support. We need the numbers to start growing. All right. So if you're watching this recorded, smash a comment in the comment section to get the algorithms going. If you're watching this live, then make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you on the next episode of the NJ Show. Right, it'll be interesting to see how all of these unfold. Take care, everyone. Cheers. Catch you tomorrow or the day after.